And we can all do that. Right now you're
Everybody
using the
can do
cards as a tool to tap in your intuition, but we can all use those cards as well
Well,
to do that.
the reason I'm doing the cards is rather than just me do it, I want to show what people can do.
Yeah.
Right? So I've created these for everybody to use so that they don't have to rely on me specifically, right? So, right, Sebastian, I'm going to put you on the ground. Now you promise me not make noise. Kisses. Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bisous.
That was the name of my last dog. Okay, so why don't you ask me the question, and so we're going to use you as the template. So you can just give me a subject matter, okay? Just give me a subject and say either partnership or opportunity, whatever it is that you want me to look at. And then what I'm going to do is analyze what I see using these cards.
Awesome.
Or whatever subject. Yeah, and then we show people how to do this.
Cool, very cool. So I say juicy tour. I say my career, which I want to take on a tour,
Okay.
a year tour.
Don't tell me what it is. Okay, so you want to take on it. Okay, so
it's my career. It's the interviewing and taking it to the next level.
So let's take a look and see. Let's take a look and see.
Exciting.
So tell me when to stop shuffling. So for anybody at home, I'm using the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. This is the guidebook. That's me in a corset.
Ooh, beautiful.
And so I'm going to choose. What I'm going to do is going to look and see what can we know about this career direction that you're going in. So your question relates to career.
Yeah.
So just tell me when to stop shuffling. Top, middle, or bottom?
Middle.
Okay.
Why top, middle, bottom?
Just because you're directing the cards and you don't have them in your hands, so you tell me where to cut the cards. So the first card here is the Chess Queen, which represents strategy. So, and she's upright. So, and it says trust in the strategy. Now because I'm the intuitive, or the psychic, I'm going to tell you what I see off of this card, because that's the other thing when people can start to learn how to do at home. They take the card, the general meaning comes, and then I always encourage people, just see what comes to you. But I see this, and I'm going to take two more cards, and I'm going to tell you what this is. The Hawk Prince, which is a communication card, and the Diamond Dreamer. These are the easy. Those are
very different from any other cards I've seen.
Yes, well, they are my cards.
Yeah.
I create oracle cards based on ancient divination systems that have existed before, and I modernize them. Then I put them all together with special characters, and I've developed my own oracle systems. So here's what you got, and this is actually a really positive reading. So the Chess Queen, the Hawk Prince, and the Diamond Dreamer. What they mean is this: you are coming out of a strategized time. So you've put a lot of things in place now. Now, what you're lacking, however, and you're waiting for communication over, because it's communication, it's about media, which we knew. If I didn't know you were in the media, I would say, is this related to media? You would have to say yes. But it's also waiting to hear a phone call from someone, and I believe that's going to invest or put an umbrella over you, which I believe would be some form of a network or some kind of, so you said something about a tour, and I believe that you're going to have an investor umbrella or a network. So this may be filmed on tour. So as opposed to, a speaking tour, because you just said the word tour.
No, it involves cameras, yes.
It would definitely involve cameras. Well, this would also say you're just still waiting. You have not yet got the money, so that's not all in the bank yet. So you've got the idea without the investor. So the Diamond Dreamer represents the investment money is coming, and you have already just received communication from someone that you're hoping is going to work out for. Is this correct?
No. No. The partnership has come, but on the more strategic level, but not the investment part.
Okay, but you have the partnership that will bring in the investment. Okay.
Yes.
You're also going to, now I'm just saying, because I got the Hawk Prince and the hawk has wings, right? I'm going to say this is going to be international, and you will dub it in a different language. This will be actually more popular in another country outside the U.S. I actually don't know where you are at the moment, but this
Chicago.
is, oh, you're in Chicago. So even though this is American, you're in Chicago, your biggest audience is going to come from another country first. So you may sell this project outside of the U.S. first and then bring it back in and sell it to the U.S. as a finished product. So You'll have to get back to me on that one. So that's a 3-card reading. What I'm going to do is to see if we'd like to go further in it, we can say, give us 2 more cards to say, what else can we learn from this?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, like some little hints or ideas. Yeah.
Okay. So you got the Dreamwalker and the Phoenix. So if we call it hints and ideas, the Dreamwalker is that it's from this is the collective good. So in other words, as long as your focus is that it is less on the individual and more on the message, right? So the idea of what can we bring? So what's the takeaway, right? Is what this is. So that's the hint. It is your dream. So it says your dream will come true. That's kind of like, I don't want it to sound too fortune tellery, but the Phoenix, though, the Phoenix is about surrendering to change, right? So that this is coming out of the ashes of something that didn't work out. So a lot of this is coming from what has not worked and what can work now. So even if that's the theme of your life, the theme of the work that you're doing, the theme of whatever, it's just showing the Phoenix bird, which is going to be really key in allowing this to go forward. You will also have to change the format, or else you already have changed the format of what you think it's going to be. It's going to be something different, even better than what you thought. So
from where I'm at right now, or I'm already
from where you began.
Oh, from where I began, yes. For sure.
Yeah, so right now, I believe you already are in the Phoenix position. So let's find out the final statement, right? So would you like me to take this from the top, the bottom, for anywhere in the deck? Top?
Yeah.
So this is interesting. The Dragon's Duel usually indicates to me that there's something negative going on, but there isn't something negative going on. It just feels it's a bit of a power struggle. So I think, your disruption card earlier that you got relates more to a power struggle about, you maintaining the integrity of what you want to do. And that's what I think is now giving us an indication of that card you got earlier. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just that you are a tough cookie and you want what you want, how you want it. That's the end of that. Right? Does that make sense?
That's accurate. Yes.
There you go.
Totally.
So you see how you can take a look. Anybody can do this. Right? I mean, there's a booklet that I wrote, the booklet that actually tells people, and I have one deck is called Wisdom of Avalon, and the other one is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. They're equally good. They're just a matter of personal taste as to what you like to look at. My new deck is called The Enchanted Map of You. It's going to go along with the book. But the main thing is that what are cards and why are they different than what we think? I believe that the concept of the fortune teller, it tells us this is where we're going without a choice. These cards tell us the work that we need to do, or they reflect back where we are truthfully when we can't see where we are, and gives us also opportunity to make choices for the future. So they're really tools for the individual to tap into their area of their awareness that their own ego self may be cut off from.
Yeah. No, yeah, and it feels like it can develop also the intuitive muscle. Because
exactly.
You have to interpret those cards anyway.
100%. And then you make your journal notes. That's exactly right, because I love that you said intuitive muscle, because all human beings have an intuitive muscle. It's like if you don't go to the gym, your muscles atrophy. Right? I mean, if you don't get out of your chair, they'd atrophy. So that's exactly right. We have a muscle that is underused in our society. So, and that we are being called into the intuitive age now. So that's why I've created these tools, and my biggest dream is to be the Hay House Oracle elf. Right?
Oh, cool. But you have this there's this surreal thing. I mean, that's why I was surprised by the cards, but now that I get to speak with you, not so much, because there is this certain, very magic thing about you.
Oh, well, I love that. And I want people to, I'm very grounded and down to earth, but I'm also, I want us all to remember there is magic. We just don't recognize it anymore. And, the indigenous people recognize the magic in the world. And I believe that there is a level of magic we can tap into in our own lives if we get out of ourselves and recognize that, like, for example, that spirituality is accessible to all human beings regardless of their faith or religious dogma. So it's something that there's this incredible invisible realm that is available to all of us. It is not. We are not separate from it. So my whimsy, you know, I'm a writer, so I like to, and I like to create whimsical things to get people to use them.
Yeah.
You know.
But tell us, just to kind of for the end of this conversation, or to close this interview, how do you see the world more in general? Like how is the world showing up to you, and how is it different than most people that think they're living and seeing reality, but they're not really seeing it to the expanded, you know, view that you see it? I mean, how is this world to you? How does it show up? How does it appear? How is it to be in this world every day?
For me specifically, and then for what I see, I'm going to give you two answers. For me specifically, I feel a greater compassion than I ever had in my whole life for all of life, and that includes nature. Especially, I'm much more nature-based than I was before. I eat a cruelty-free diet. I mean, I have for 4 years. So I am more conscious that I am only a small, tiny part of the world, and that I am part of a story. And so when it comes to the way I see people, and I do believe, and I am accessing more and more of these realms that defy me, because I can't logically explain them either, but I know that they exist, and I know that we have less control than we think. But everything is consciousness, and I know that to be true. And again, like I said, about people, I'm exposed to a lot of people because I do readings full-time for a living. And, you know, we are all in this together, and that I feel that the layers of separation are slowly being dropped unfortunately, because of tragedies around the world, you know. But if that's what it takes to wake us up, so be it. But it's a very interesting time to be alive. Very interesting time. And I feel a hopeful time. Mm-hmm. So I do. I feel that.
And a time where more than ever we need intuition. I mean, we need to tap into this. We cannot rely anymore on those structures. They're all falling.
Exactly. We can't rely so much. I mean, we have to have a healthy balance between intuition and logic and reason. But because I believe too that the reality that we experience is such a tiny part of the bigger piece that we have to learn what that bigger piece. It's like we just see the tip of the iceberg, but the big iceberg is where all the information is. So it's recognizing that we're seeing little pinpricks, and then say, is there something bigger? And also to get out of judgment, because light or dark, it's all happening, and it's happening fast. So it's strap yourself in. We're in for a ride. We chose to be here, and why not? You know, I think it's a great time to be alive.
Well, it's great to spend this time with you, Colette. Thank you so much for showing us the tarot cards and explaining to us your vision of the world. And if you have a last message that you want to share, or something that comes through your mind, please do.
When you feel fear, love that part of yourself that feels fear, and recognize that you're not alone, and that that hope is really there, that even though in the darkness, we have to remember that it only takes a teensy weensy little match to light up an entire cave, and that cave cannot take away that light. So that's just one thing, and also to be grateful for one thing a day. And always remember to help someone that is less fortunate than you, and get out of yourself. We've got to get out of ourselves. We've got to get out of ourselves.
Merci, Colette.
Rien.